Good morning, my friends, or hello, afternoon, evening, wherever you're seeing this. Dorothy Morgan. I am a professional astrologer today, and what I like to do on these daily messages is we'll start off with a bit of astrology, what's going on in the sky. I will use the astro dice as a little additional message from spirit, if you will, and then I love this deck because that helps me to bring everything down to a groundedness. That's my Taurus rising and the Gemini. So I'm calling these Mercury messages. So let's get started. I want to share the screen, and this is for Sunday, March 6th. However, whenever you see it, if the message resonates, then, we're good to go. One of the things that happened in the middle of the night, excuse me, in the middle of the night was, of course, the moon entered the sign of Taurus, which is its exaltation, earthy, grounded, feels great. And then we have, it is coming to make a connection with Uranus, but that's in the middle of this night. So in the early morning hours of March 7th. But what we do have that's really important to pay attention to as well is that Mars and Venus are now in the sign of Aquarius. They did that late last night, early this morning, depending on your time zone. And so what I see with that, because the last time we had, well, one of the bigger occurring things at zero Aquarius was way back when Saturn entered that sign. And that was in the time frame that here in the United States, everything got shut down. So that was like March of 2020. And so the energy of that is still, reverbing through the whole world, right? And so, so what does that look like? I mean, to me, it feels and it looks like a new sense of independence and freedom. Yeah, we see that in the world, of course. But look at it for your own life. Where is zero Aquarius for you? What part of your astrology is it? So this is a wonderful opportunity for new beginnings, right? And inspiration and insight. Mars in Aquarius just represents that, taking action in through thoughts and new ideas. And Venus is how we value that. And depending on where it is in your own astrology chart, will vary, what that that house represents. Like here in this chart example that's up here, it's in the 10th house. So if this was a native chart, a person's chart, I would say that they should be open to new ideas or new processes when it comes to the career or the public reputation. All right. Okay. A lot more astrology is on my Patreon platform. Please come and support me there if you would like. There are different levels and tiers that you can come support me there. And you can just support me here simply here on YouTube by commenting below the video. The live stream is fantastic, but below the video as well as a thumbs up. And please share to your groups because this is great information. And, encourage people to subscribe. I would like that. All right. So what's the additional content that, Spirit would like us to know about? We're just going to give this a roll. Wow, that's very well, here we are. I always giggle because it just goes along with what I've just said. The sun in Aries in the first house is what I rolled because each of these dice, one of them has the 12 planets. We have 10 planets, north and south node, the 12 zodiac signs, the 12 houses. So Aries, sun in Aries in the first house, it's just like focusing on you. So what I just said about all of that zero Aquarius stuff with Mars and Venus, especially, and, we're in the first crescent, we're in the crescent phase. So things are still expanding. The moon is waxing. The energy is growing. When the sun is like where I want to shine, it's it's the ego, it's the essence is in the sign of Aries that absolutely represents the self. And the first house is also the self, the face we show to the world. So the additional content just from the roll of the dice is saying, this is a very personal message for some of us, not everybody, but for some of us. And, it's your sign to take a step and action. And again, find where that zero Aquarius is in your astrology chart. And if you don't know, contact me through my website, Dorothy Morgan Astrologer, and do it through the website to keep it private. You don't want to do it here on YouTube, but contact me with your birth info and just say, can I have my chart and tell me where zero Aquarius is. I have to know what you're asking for. I have a lot of requests. So just do that. I don't have a problem at all creating charts for people. Okay. And because it can be, these things can be different for everybody. And my example, like yesterday, we have the sun conjunct Jupiter. They're still in a conjunction today as well. But that is a very upbeat, optimistic, feel good transit. Now, that's not truth for everybody, because I know some individuals personally in my own life that are struggling with some major things. However, yesterday I was with my daughter. It's a whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, of me hanging out with friends and family. Today I'm going to go see my colleague, Darlene Chadbourne. Her and I do a yearly forecast. She does the numerology. I do the astrology. You can be notified of that if you join up on my newsletter. We do it every year. We do it at the end of October, early November for the next year, the whole year at a time. So yesterday, when I was with my daughter, we were just out shopping. In the 5th of the month, at least in the state of New Hampshire, is when a lot of people get their food allotment, right? And that place was packed, right? The grocery store was just packed. Lots of times that's a little stressful, right? Getting irritated. Everybody, you almost run into people and everybody's like, whoopsie, sorry. Kids running around playing, just, all haphazardly, but I saw nobody in a bad mood. Anybody that almost ran into us or we almost ran into them. So everybody was just really upbeat. Both my daughter and I noticed that. And she's learning astrology now too. And I'm like, this is a perfect example of Sun Jupiter. So if you have an example of how that might have been for you, then, share us below. And I know other people, like I said, have said, yesterday was not a great day. The day before was better. And that's fine too. We all have our own personal way of seeing things. And because I hate saying predicting, I'm showing what's going on in the, how I'm interpreting it doesn't mean that's exactly how you're going to feel. So this is the card I just drew. Walking in Beauty. I mean, I love this deck because it's just about getting down and getting outside and appreciating the most simplest of things. We're still in full grips of winter here. Today's going to be in the 50s. So that's not bad. And it'll probably rain. My car needs it. It's covered in salt. So walking in beauty, get out there and just, really connect with what you can connect with. Whether it's, you have spring flowers blooming now or the fall flowers, depending on where you live. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's still summer down there. So find that little piece of beauty and really soak it in. And allow it to really infuse your life, just like you would just be, smelling an amazing flower. So walking in beauty, enjoying everything about what nature has to offer. And even if you can't get outside, you have some plants, go dust them off, give them a little water, talk to them. These are ways we get back into the present moment and live a life with gratitude, even when there's a lot of difficult things happening in the world, and even potentially, possibly in your own life. We all have our things. All right. So that's it for today. Thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. And yes, gratitude. Namaste.